Yeah, I'm just proud of our kids. We play hard, and we've been playing hard all year, and the results haven't really been there. And I think now Matt can attest to this that we continue to do what we do. And I thought today we played more like a Raging Cajun team. We took a couple of charges that we hadn't done all year, and especially some of the kids. And then you got MK scoring, and we broke their press. Even though we had 17 turnovers, we still did a lot of good things. And proud of these kids that they stuck. It's easy when you win, and you have evidence to continue to improve. But today we showed that we can play basketball, and I think we can continue on. I think if we play our style, we'll have a good chance.
Can you introduce your two players next to you?
Introduce us.
What's that?
Introduce us.
Oh, okay. I can introduce. I call her MK Manley. Michaela Manley's, and then I never can get her name right. Caitlin Norris. We call her Kay.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, Coach. Question here from Zoom. What was kind of the game plan? It really kind of came down to it in the fourth quarter, late third, most of the fourth, a really physical game, and you guys came out on top in the rebound category. What was the game plan there?
Last time we played them, we out-rebounded them and ended up losing by 6. But we had like 23 turnovers. So that was a big thing for us. Could we not get live ball turnovers? And we had a few today. They do a good job of pressing. But the game plan was to be, try to take care of the ball and be aggressive on the offensive side. And on the defensive side, we were switching all handoffs and trying to trap. We actually, the first quarter was our worst quarter because we went to a zone. We didn't think that our man was as tough. It could be, but I think we made the adjustment the second quarter, and you can just see that the points weren't there for them. I thought we did a good job. The plan was to play zone more, but plans are plans. We made an adjustment, and the kids made the adjustment. I thought we guarded really good, especially in the second and third quarter with our man.
And then a question for Michaela. Career high, 32 points. Just kind of in the zone. What were you kind of seeing? What were you feeling? And just kind of walk us through that.
Really, I struggled the first two halves for real. So, my second half, I just had to calm myself down and then take what the game gave me and just trust in my work.
And then, Kaylin, you had three from three, 13 overall. Just talk a little bit about the ball movement and maybe some of the chances that you guys got a little bit more open in the second half that you weren't seeing in the first half.
I really appreciate my teammates, finding me. We were really able to move the ball. The first half, we were pretty stagnant, but the second half, we were able to really get into our offense and, move the ball. And I'm thankful that my teammates, they found me when they saw me open. So, yeah.
And then, Coach, you kind of hit on this in your opening statement, but, in postseason basketball, it's everybody's 0-0. Just talk a little bit about that mentality and how you can kind of use this win to carry forward.
I came to UL 14 years ago, and I always knew that. I was at McNeese before and played the NCAA tournament, and the mid-majors have a hard time just getting out at large bids. So we know that this is our third season and the last one. If we don't win the tournament, we don't go to the NCAA tournament. So I take that approach, man. I love it. I love it. It's March Madness. It starts. I'm not really a fan of the way the bracket's set up now, but it is what it is. But at least we get to play and kind of show and improve in what we're doing because we got some young players, and I think that's important. But for us, I think, we take the mindset of, hey, we have nothing to lose, man. We're just going to come out and play our basketball and have some fun at it. And I think that's what the kids did. Our practice was really, really fun. I think when you shorten up things in life, people see the light, and I think that's what it is. We toured in. I told them when we left Lafayette, we just got 7 more games, and then we'll worry about the 8th one. And, it is what it is, I know they got some pretty good teams in our league, but to me, it's the toughest team that's going to win. It's not always the best team that's going to be in our league that's going to win. It's going to be the toughest team. And, if it is the best team, great. But if it's not, why not us? I always say that, it's like, it might fall our way. We got to do some special things and get a little bit of luck. If people don't believe in luck, I do. I believe you make your own luck. So, yeah, I think this is some fun stuff, man. March Madness. I tell them all the time, survive in advance. You got to survive, and we did today, and hopefully we can do tomorrow.
And then, Coach, we got a question from Kevin Foote here on Zoom. Was it more of a conscious effort to shoot more from distance this game?
It was a conscious effort to make free throws and putbacks. That's what Kevin loves. He believes that's what wins. And I'm trying to convince him that when you play defense and make stops, it's more important. But, yeah, I mean, I don't think we had a conscious effort to do that. I think we just wanted to play together, and, you know, we wanted to actually be aggressive, you know, lock down the lane lines, and we wanted to bring the ball middle. We wanted to be aggressive on the offensive side. And it just so happened that we were able to do that, and it created some shots on the outside, and we knocked down. I mean, MK knocked some down, and Caitlin, and that's not our forte. We don't really play that way. We play to make stops, and we play to push the ball down in transition. Coach Johnson does a great job of getting them up and down in transition, and I thought we took some advantage of that.
And then last question for both the players here. Just kind of feeding off of Coach's answer there. What do you think this game really came down to, whether it be physical toughness or just, effort?
Do you want to go first? Or?
Yeah. I think it really came down to being tough. Rebounding was big. We was tough with getting rebounds. I think we out-rebounded them. So, rebounding, take care of the ball for real, and just focusing at the line, free throw line. So, yeah.
I think it came down to, free throws. MK, she knocked him down. And also getting stops.
Mm-hmm.
What we emphasize in practice that a stop ends with a rebound.
Mm-hmm.
So, we got those rebounds too. Like she said, we out-rebounded them. So, yeah.
All right. Any final questions? All right. Thank you, Coach. Thank you, guys.
Thank
All right,
you.
thank you, bud. MK, you getting the bill. A little bit better, man.
Thank you.